So you've been natural for a while and you want to go back to a relaxer or a texturizer and you don't know which way to go. Stay tuned. We're going to talk all about that right now. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. So today's video is all about keratin treatments, relaxers, texturizers. Which one should you do? Which one is the best one for your hair? I still get asked today what the difference is between a texturizer and a relaxer and also a keratin treatment. I'm going to first answer the question of what is the difference between a texturizer and a relaxer. So a relaxer and a texturizer basically is the exact same product, but it is the application, how it is applied, the process is how you are able to get either a relaxer or a texturizer. So a relaxer and texturizer is a permanent service. I am so shocked when I hear people still say, I went and I got my hair texturized and I don't like it. Can I wash it out? Is it going to come out? Can I get my curls back? So a relaxer and a texturizer is a permanent chemical service. You cannot reverse that process. Once it's done, you can go back. Keratin treatment, on the other hand, is a semi-permanent process. Keratin treatment is a protein service. So think about keratin treatment as when you get your nails painted, the top coat that goes onto your nails, think about keratin treatment as that. It's basically just coating your polish to make it last longer, to make it stronger. And a relaxer and a texturizer is an actual chemical that is changing the texture of your hair permanently. Now, what causes a texturizer and a relaxer confusion? I have had personally people ask me, can I get my hair texturized to look like this? And then they showed me a picture of some person with curly hair and it's like, no. You can't do a texturizer to make it look like a certain type of curl. A texturizer is basically the exact natural curl pattern that you have in your hair. You are using the texturizer, the cream, the sodium hydroxide, which is the main ingredient in most texturizers and relaxers. You are using that to change the texture of your hair by loosening up the curls, your natural curls, your actual natural curl pattern that you have. So I'm sure you hear a lot about I am a 4A, 4B, 4C, la la la. You hear all of that. What it is whatever your natural curl pattern is, a texturizer is going to be exactly that same curl pattern, but it would just be looser, more manageable, not necessarily curly. The amount of curls you're going to get out of the texturizer service is depending on what curl pattern you have. So if you happen to have a 3C pattern and you know what that curl looks like, the texturizer is going to elongate, going to stretch that texture, making it easier to comb it out. Obviously, just more manageable. Natural texture, of course. The reason why we even ask these questions is because when you're wearing your hair natural, it can be very difficult to comb it out, to just working with it can be very difficult. So as many women that will decide to go natural, after a certain period of time, they start to think about whether they should go back to either a relaxer or a texturizer. And it's very, very hard, because when you do a relaxer or a texturizer on your hair, it does make your hair a lot more manageable. The only problem is, oftentimes, if the service is not done properly, your hair, it gets dry, it gets broken. So the most important thing is knowing a texturizer, a relaxer, and even a keratin treatment. None of it is natural, okay? There's no natural texturizer or natural anything. Each and every single one of them is a chemical application. Oftentimes, the biggest question is which one between a texturizer and a relaxer, which one is better for your hair? Like I said, both of these services are chemical services, and they're both permanent. Not one or the other is better for your hair. You just have to decide what it is that you want from the service. You have to decide if you want to have the option. Say you want to wash your hair, put some curl products in there, and then just let it air dry naturally. If you want to have that kind of option, you are most likely going to actually like a texturizer, because you have the option to get that. Once again, you're not going to get a specific kind of curl. You're just going to get your actual natural curl, but it will just be looser and easier to manage. And obviously, with the right curl products, you can actually bring out very nice, natural looking curls from your hair. I have clients who prefer texturizer. However, they actually never wear their hair curly. And the reason is because they like the volume that they get from having a texturizer versus a relaxer. When you relax your hair, straighten it, you are not leaving much volume at all in your hair. It goes completely straight, obviously. It's a lot easier to wear it straight because the hair is straight from the chemical service. So you can easily just, run a blow dryer through it with very little effort. And most of the time, just quick flat iron and you're good to go. However, that tends to be a lot flatter. And if you don't have a lot of density, that your hair can typically appear to be flatter. Whereas with a texturizer, you are able to get more volume out of your hair. It is a lot more work to blow dry because you obviously have to work now with the curl that you have and stretch that out and then use a flat iron over that. There is also the problem of once you've done this, if you happen to be in a situation where there's a lot of humidity you run the risk of your hair obviously wanting to go back to that frizz that, you know, is in the hair because it isn't completely straight. But it does have the benefit of having the option to not, you know, wear it straight constantly. Whether or not you should go for a relaxer versus a texturizer if you are a natural wanting to go back to what do they call it, the creamy crack. If you're not 100% sure, you are better off doing a texturizer. And if you find that it's still not quite the kind of texture, is still not manageable enough for you and you prefer straight, you can go over the texturizer with the relaxer, basically by just processing it a lot straighter. But going from natural to a relaxer, going completely straight, that's it. You can't go back, you can't add any more curls. Once you do that, that's the end of it. Oftentimes what happens is you go in to get a texturizer done and your hair goes really, really straight. It's either left on for too long, it is the way the hair is processed, and the condition that your hair was in before you went to go get the texturizer done. If you moisturize your hair before going to get the service done, your hair is going to come out a lot better than if your hair is dry. Remember, when your hair is very, very dry, it is very, very porous. So if it's very porous, any chemical that you're touching your hair with is going to react really quickly. So with your hair being dry, if you just put a relaxer on there, it's going to take just like that. It's going to go straight really quickly. The same as a texturizer, which means that you now trying to get your hair to just loosen up, now it's going to go straight. So moisturizing it as much as you possibly can before going to the salon. And I mean slapping, okay, a lot of conditioner on your hair. You can even do that the night before if you want to. If you're going for a texturizer, matter of fact, you can put a conditioner in your hair. If you're going in the afternoon, literally sit there and take your hair and put conditioner, okay, and leave the conditioner in there completely. Just leave the conditioner in there before you go to the salon. Obviously not crazy amounts of it, but enough. That way your hair actually has some protection. The texturizer is going to be able to work better on your hair when your hair has a little bit of that coating from your oil and your conditioner. It makes it, I would say the easiest way to describe it is it slows down the action of the product, making it, giving you the chance for it to process evenly. I do sometimes, you know, the back portion of the hair first, completely wash that out before, you know, doing the rest of the hair. But the most important thing is deciding whether you want to do a relaxer or a texturizer is a personal choice. Ask yourself what you want out of your hair. Do you want your hair to be able to be a wash and go, or are you going to be more wash, blow dry it, and flat iron it and leave it straight until the next wash? The natural texture, before I even go any further, I know people who keep their hair natural and they go get it blow dried regularly. Keep it in mind, the heat from flat ironing your hair regularly and the blow drying and the amount of pressure that is put onto your natural hair during that blow drying service can also be very damaging. So if you are wearing your hair natural, be sure to really moisturize it. That is usually the biggest challenge, is being able to properly moisturize your natural hair, because sometimes you can barely even get a comb through it. But you have to make sure, if you're going to be flat ironing it, blow drying it, you're really moisturizing it. Because if not, then you're wearing your hair natural and washing and blow drying it regularly, you defeat the entire purpose also completely. As far as keratin treatments goes, if your hair is more wavy and you get a keratin treatment, you're most likely going to achieve a more straighter look. And if your hair is obviously super curly and frizzy, you're going to just get a more looser texture out of your keratin treatments. In terms of which company, which products you should use, whether you should use a milder one or other, that is something that you have to look into with your stylist. Just do as much research as you possibly can. Look for a stylist that's an expert and know what they're doing, and do consultation. Take the time to do as much research and decide which one is the best one for you. But each and every single curl loosening service can be hard on your hair if it's not done properly. A keratin treatment is a protein, but the process that it has to do to get onto your hair, applying the right amount of cream on your hair, applying the right kind of cream on your hair, using your blow dryer, your flat iron, the way the whole process is done will determine the end result. Keratin treatments is obviously not a permanent service. So if you're not sure which way you want to go, say you're coming from a natural texture and you're not sure whether you want to go with a texturizer or a relaxer, perhaps keratin treatments might be a better option for you, because it does come out of your hair, it does wash out of your hair after, it could be anywhere from 2 to 6 months. This gives you the chance to see whether or not that is a better option for you. Just manage your expectations. Do as much research as you can so you know exactly what you're getting. What the keratin treatment is mainly doing to your hair, it is adding the layer of protection against the humidity. It is not changing your natural texture permanently. All it's basically doing is just coating it with the keratin protein and preventing it from getting frizzy. When you get the keratin treatments done, it is a cream texture that is put on your hair, and then it's blow dried and then flat ironed. So you're going to be leaving, typically with most of the services, most of the companies, there's different companies, but most of them, you're going to be leaving the salon with your hair blow dried straight and flat ironed. Some of them you can go and you can wash your hair within the same day or two. Some of them is 72 hours before you can wash your hair. Keep in mind, when you wash your hair will go back to its natural state that it was in, except it is going to feel a lot smoother and a lot less frizzy and a lot softer. So that is it. That is going to be it for today. Feel free to leave me a comment if you have any further question. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and also if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because we are going to be doing a lot more of hair talk. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.